let's go to Raw, where now Samoa Joe is taking the place of Jerry Lawler. NXT performers were in the crowd, so WWE sort of finally copping to the fact that, AEW had a really good idea. They're putting their own spin on it with the Performance Center folks out in the crowd, the glass along the barricades. I thought was a nice touch. You know what? Whoever thought of it, who cares? Just do it because it helps me watching. So I'm glad that they finally copped to it because it was getting too weird without having anyone out there. So I'm glad that they finally did it. What say you?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I like kind of like the glass barricade or the extra layer up top of the barricade. It's as far as from a safety precaution,
and a safety precaution, and obviously to throw somebody through it. So, like, no doubt about it.
That's coming. Maybe a backlash.
Chamber glass. You're going through it.
So no, but I'm with you. It's like it was so refreshing. Like Raw just seemed that much better. I know I keep saying energy, but it just felt more alive having people in attendance. Even though this one compared to AEW, like it was funny. Like they're all wearing like WWE shop merch. Like I thought that was kind of interesting. Like they're all wearing.
Gotta do it.
Yeah, they got to promote the, hey, you like the shirt they're wearing?
Hey, man, mama didn't raise no fool. They know how to keep selling. So I'm not, I appreciate it for it.
But then the other thing, it was, give a credit to our buddy Mike Holler. He says almost look like a hockey rink as far as the glass, like at a hockey game. I was like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, no, I'm all for it as long as it adds to the energy, because that's something people were complaining with. Like AEW is more enjoyable in the pandemic world, the pandemic time of pro wrestling. It's just more enjoyable. And so for Raw, SmackDown, NXT this week with their first time introducing the crowd and the little glass, I'm all for it. It was a little odd though, like some angles, there was a little bit of a glare, kind of coming through with the lights, but. Listen,
they'll work that out.
Yeah, and listen, it's not the end of the world. For me, I'm not so much caring about someone, diagonally across the way. I'm paying attention to the action in the ring, so it's not going to, like, truly mess up my experience. But just some little thing I noticed. But no, overall, I'm glad they're doing this. It's about time, and, hopefully they'll just ride this for as long as they can and keep at it.
Yeah, hopefully, exactly. It's about time. I think that maybe there was some pride at hand there that they didn't think of it or implement it first.
Yeah.
And I think that sort of held them back. But listen, it makes it such an easier watch. Just having even a few people, just the noise level that you need in pro wrestling. And so I was appreciative of that. A big takeaway from Raw this week was Apollo Crews is your new U.S. champion as he defeated Andrade. I saw a lot of people celebrating this, and if you're a big Apollo Crews fan, I say good for you. I'm glad you're happy, but I also must follow up with a question: why? I have nothing against Apollo Crews as a person or as an in-ring performer, but his character, I just don't see it. I haven't seen anything that's made me really buy into him and on the WWE stage. Mm-hmm. And I know we've cited this before very recently. I go back to Scott Hall. Down at the Performance Center when they did the episode of Breaking Ground where he's helping people with their promos, and Scott was talking to Apollo Crews like, yeah, but do you nobody really talks like that? Like, do you really talk that way? Like, well,
no, he probably said, hey, yo, nobody really talk like that.
But it just was that's just what I always come back to. I've just never seen that fiery personality, that larger than life character from Apollo Crews.
Yeah,
very good in ring performer. He just has always sort of left me flat in terms of the persona.
Well, hopefully, getting this U.S. title win will give him a big push that he's been wanting for a long time, especially his time on the main roster. So, and then hopefully his character can kind of evolve now that he's a champion. Maybe he has a little more flexibility, or they have some creative option for him to kind of expand on this character as the U.S. champ. Technically, the second tier singles champion on Monday Night Raw after Drew McIntyre. So I want to be optimistic for next few weeks, months, or however long his title reign is. This is going to open the doors to show more personality, but we shall wait and see.
It comes weirdly at the expense of Andrade, who is somebody that I think WWE should put more equity into, not less.
Yeah.
I see big time future for him. But maybe he'll move on to a WWE Championship feud with Drew McIntyre in short order. Who knows? But yeah, I know a lot of people are stoked for Apollo Crews, and I say good on you. I'm glad you all are happy. I just don't see it yet, and I'm hoping I do, because he is a talented guy. I just want to see more personality from him. He's one of those where I don't know if the Apollo Crews character exists when the cameras aren't on him. And I think to be a truly top guy, your character has to live, whether you're on camera or not. You have to have them fleshed out. They're 3-dimensional. They are, they're real to you. And I just don't see it yet. Yeah. But hopefully we do. What were some of your other takeaways from Monday Night Raw? Just what was your favorite part or least favorite part?
Let's go quick little rapid fire. I just once again just more of Drew McIntyre being a badass. He had the VIP lounge segment, but then later on in the night when he was told that Lashley and MVP were going to be competing in Street Profits, he's like, I was going to leave right now, but hold on, I'm going to stick around, and you might see me after the match. So it was just cool, him coming out and just attacking Bobby Lashley, kind of adding fuel to the fire for their upcoming matchup at Backlash. So that was cool. Just Drew McIntyre, I just love seeing that title around him and everything he's been doing. I know every week I keep just praising him, so just keep that momentum going. I
got to stop you right there because you mentioned the Street Profits. I know, again, this has been a polarizing subject, but I cannot, the Viking Raiders are dead, man. They're dead. I can't, these segments are bad, and it would be, if it was a different team, I think it would work better. Or, if they had a different lineage with them coming from Japan when they were just absolute killers. They were killers in NXT.
Yeah.
And now they're the Highlanders on Raw. I do not understand the logic behind this, why you would do this. I understand the E in WWE stands for entertainment, but the Viking Raiders as these killer badasses were entertainment. And now this is just not good.
Yeah. Well, and I totally agree with you. Yeah. And what's this leading to? Is this eventually going to lead to a match at Backlash? I mean, but they're
match.
But they're like being almost like buddies in these segments, which part of me, I do find the entertainment value. Takes me back to the 80s or early 90s, those type of outside the arena vignettes or segments, whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, as you said, for the character at hand here, where they're supposed to be represented as these badass killers, which have done stuff in Japan and on the indie scene and other promotions. And now, yeah.
And then recently is NXT.
Yeah, and now they're just comic relief. I mean, yeah, you and I, we saw them with that amazing entrance at TakeOver. It was like, badass Vikings here. But yeah.
I guess is this like payback for all of us complained about what were they called, the Viking experience
for 1 week? Yeah, because
they copped to that. They changed the name, but they're like, well, we're going to give you what we had originally planned for the Viking experience. I feel bad for the Viking Raiders, the War Raiders, War Machine, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah,
and maybe they're having fun, and I hope they are. But I just think that they were better served to be a serious team, as opposed to this comic relief.
Yeah. And then the other thing, once again, Seth Rollins just keeping on the Monday Night Messiah. We didn't have time last week, but Austin Theory joined his faction, his stable. So Austin Theory.
A little awkward with the timing of Austin Theory getting jettisoned and then, shoehorned right into Seth Rollins. But in terms of a fit, I do like the fit. And if they're not going to give Seth Rollins one half of the AOP while one of them is injured as his disciples, then I think he needed another one. So I'm glad that they at least gave him Austin Theory. I think it works.
It's almost like his heelish version of the Shield, like his own little faction for Monday nights. But yeah, I mean, just as far as the athleticism and kind of the styles that Seth obviously has demonstrated in the ring for the last many years, and then Murphy as well, and then Austin Theory. So combined, I like it all. I'm really liking kind of this current incarnation of his group. And I'm looking forward to, and I'm anticipating. One, I mean, it's probably going to be a match against Rey Mysterio at some point. But I would love to see Aleister Black and Seth Rollins go at it at some point in the near future. So I know
Tyler Black versus Aleister Black. I dig it.
Good knowledge.
I dig it. No, I think Seth, again, we've talked about before, but the Monday Night Messiah gimmick's really working for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see how it, at this juncture in it, how it will play in front of a live audience. But I think the factions come together nicely. I hope they keep the Authors of Pain with them when they are able to come back. But the three of them really fit stylistically.
Yeah.
So that was good.